What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for October 6, 2022. As I mentioned previously, in case you haven't heard, we are now a micro podcast, so go check out This Day in Philly Sports History on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon, wherever else you get your podcasts. It will be there. Still going to be posting the YouTube videos, but this is mainly just so folks have another way and another option to get their content. So it is officially F the Cardinals week. In my season ticket group, we usually, for when we play Dallas, Washington, or the Giants, it's F that team week, mostly Dallas. So Phillies have the 3-game series starting tomorrow against the Cardinals, while the Eagles actually go out to Arizona to play the Cardinals. The last stop on the 2017 reunion tour. They get to go say hello to Zach Ertz. But we will get into the preview of the division series on tomorrow's podcast. It's an early start on Friday, 2:07. So I know they're trying to get all three of the games for all of the series in for the weekend and whatnot, but they used to do this even back when the Phillies were hot in the mid to early 2000s. But I just hated that. Like I hate the 1, 2, 3 o'clock starts. So during the weekday. Weekends is fine, but it's tough because now how am I supposed to work for 2 hours while I'm watching the Phillies game? But hopefully my bosses aren't listening. But anyway, so this day, you know what? There was something else I wanted to add, which I found interesting, and I didn't realize that now that the Phillies have clinched the wild card, every team has played as in the playoffs as a wild card. It was interesting to me that the Phillies had never, or I realized they had never played as a wild card, but I thought there were other teams too. So yeah, every team has now been made it as a wild card. So I don't know if that's good or bad for the Phillies, but take it for what it is. So this day in Philly sports history, October 6, 2010. It was game 1 of the NLDS versus the Reds. Phils won 4-0 behind Roy Halladay's playoff no-hitter. Buried the lead there a little bit. But yes, Roy making his first postseason start for the Phils. No-hit the Reds, and he was absolutely dealing that day. To make it even better, it was only the second no-hitter in the postseason ever. The first one was Don Larson's perfect game in the World Series in 1956. Even more incredible is that was Roy Halladay's second no-hitter of the season. You don't necessarily see that too often in the modern era, but he threw a perfect game earlier that season in May against the Marlins. So Roy Halladay came in that year and did what he was supposed to do. He only gave up one walk to Jay Bruce in that game, who ironically played for the Phillies back in like the COVID era. And he even helped his cause at bat. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI and scored a run. I just remember like he came in and he was almost like a machine, kind of like almost like Drago from Rocky IV, where he was just never saw the guy smile, never saw him show any emotion. He just was dead set. Charlie gave him the ball. That was it. But afterwards, after he retired and whatnot, that's when you saw him show a little bit of that emotion. And unfortunately, he tragically died in that plane crash. But that day in 2010, he was dealing. So this day in Philly sports history, October 6th in 2010, Roy Halladay no-hit the Reds in game 1 of the NLDS. The Phillies won 4-0. They would go on to sweep the Reds and ultimately lose to the Giants that year in the NLCS, sort of their progression toward the end of that whole golden era of Philly baseball. But be sure to like us and subscribe for both podcasts, both This Day in Philly Sports History and Back to the Future. Check out the YouTube page, Twitter, TikTok, Jimbo_Mont. Go have yourselves a Thursday and F the Cardinals this week. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.